Hope you guys are having a great Saturday. Hey, listen, I want to talk to you guys about human motivation. You know, this is something that all of us obviously deal with every day with ourselves, with the people around us that we have to work with or just kind of do life with. And, you know, this is a great book I read. It's called The Leadership Push by Bob and Daniel Ramsey. It's really well written, very simple, but very informative and insightful. And one of the things that Bob and Daniel talk about is this effect known as the Kohler effect. And I was familiar with this other one called the Ringelmann effect, but they talk about the Kohler effect. I want to explain these to you real quickly because I think you'll find these really interesting. You know, the Ringelmann effect has this effect that we've all maybe done ourselves. And it's this effect when you get lost in a group of people all doing the same task and somebody can back off on their effort because nobody knows they're not really giving out all of their effort. It'd be like if you've ever been on one of those bikes that you have 3 or 4 people all pedaling and one person doesn't really have to pedal as hard, but nobody knows it. That's called the Ringelmann effect. It's that you kind of live off the efforts of the people around you and nobody really knows that you're not putting in as much effort. This happens all the time. You get departments or groups that have a bunch of people working on a project and you'll have those people every once in a while back off of their effort because the job is going to get done by everybody else eventually. That happens a lot of times whenever if you remember in college, maybe you were in a group project and one person would just not do as much as the others and just kind of live off the efforts of other people. It's known as the Ringelmann effect, but the Kohler effect is powerful because this is measurable. There's a component of competitiveness and measurability in this that makes you feel like your effort matters. In other words, you can't hide behind the efforts of the others without people noticing that you didn't give your best. In this particular effect, you realize that your efforts are indispensable. In the book, they talk about, in 2008, an amazing event. It was the 2008 Olympics. Michael Phelps had already won 5 gold medals. He wanted to win 8 gold medals that Olympics because the world record was 7 gold medals in one Olympic Games, and now he wanted to win 8 and break that record. The problem was that the next 3 events that Michael Phelps had were all relays. He was going to be dependent on other people. And one in particular was the 100-meter relay. And Michael Phelps goes into the water first. And in this particular event, the French were predicted to win this event. They were the best relay team in the world. And the fastest 100-meter swimmer in the world was on the French team. And he was swimming anchor. He was the last guy to go in the water. Phelps goes in first, gets a good commanding lead. The next 2 American swimmers obviously did their best, lost some distance, and the last guy, Jason Lezak, when he jumps in the water, the Frenchman who had already set the world record in this event, the Frenchman was a full body length ahead of him. Lezak, who's obviously a good swimmer, jumps in the water and is behind the Frenchman all the way to the wall. The announcers are talking about how Lezak is going to have to be content with the silver medal. There's just no way he's going to make up that kind of distance. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you see Lezak somehow find that gear. And you can literally watch him begin passing the Frenchman by. And he ends up reaching out and touches the wall at the other end and wins the 100-meter relay by 0.08 seconds. The smallest margin in swim history in the Olympics. And Michael Phelps ends up going on and winning 8 gold medals in the 2008 Olympics. What's fascinating though, is that Jason Lezak did that exact same event, the 100-meter, in the individual race. And his time was 1.6 seconds better when he did that same 100 meters in the team relay. That is the Kohler effect. It's when you know that your efforts are indispensable, they're needed, everyone's depending on you. So why do I share this? I share this because if you work with the team, it's really important that you communicate to everybody exactly why what they're doing is so important and how much the team depends on their specific efforts so that they can't fall into the Ringelmann effect and just kind of fall back and hide behind the efforts of others, but they know that their work is being observed and watched and measured and it's needed and it is indispensable. So go online, read about these two effects. I think you'll find them absolutely fascinating in terms of how they drive human motivation. And if we could realize how powerful the Kohler effect is, I think we would approach each other in a much more effective way, letting everybody know just how important they are on our team.